Managing change in organizations is one of the most difficult tasks of the leader in that organization. In organizations such as businesses, changes come from internal or external reasons. The external reasons can be things such as change in technology, change in demand, change in expectations, or any other change in the customer side or the competition side that drives internal changes into a company. Internal changes can be caused due to people leaving or new people coming in, new operations, new products, and any other new business operation that has to change from the current norm. Managing this kind of change is very difficult because everybody in the company must believe in the change in order to make it successful. Successful changes happen over time and it is very well analyzed and their impacts are very well thought of beforehand in order to make the change successful. In, in small organizations or large organizations, any change will bring some kind of a resistance with it. The resistance may be because of the people's lack in trust to the change, people's abilities, people's job security, um, personal problems with the leader, or their involvement in the change. But in either case, there is always a risk of people not buying into the new idea. And in order to make the new idea work well, people have to believe that it will work out for the best of the company and the results should be clearly visible. In a lot of cases where the impact of the change isn't very visible, it might look to the employees as the change was pointless or it was unsuccessful. On the other hand, in a lot of times, change brings a learning curve along with it, and the bigger the change is, the longer it takes people to adjust. For people to adjust to the new skills and requirements that the change brings, they have to be able to educate about the change, anticipate the possible scenarios that they can be run into, and most importantly, they have to be able to understand their part in the change, which is how will their new behavior affect the overall well-being of the company. Knowing this, a leader must make his or her subordinates uh, apply the change. If a company decides for a change, it must be pursued and it must be followed through in order to make it work well. No change works well from the start. It always takes some time to fix the possible issues and to learn the new practices. But if it's pursued well and if it's controlled well, then it may be very beneficial for the overall well-being of the company. Change in larger organizations is much harder and it takes much longer because there is a lot more bureaucracy, and since a lot of papers have to be signed, a lot of approvals have to be taken, and a lot of implications have to be considered, it usually takes much longer in large organizations to actually implement a change than in regular organizations. But that being said, this does not mean it is easy to make changes in smaller organizations because the responsibility is most of the time on the leader for the impact, for the effects of the change. And since business is an ongoing live organization, the changes have to be amortized so well that it should not badly affect the current ongoing business that the business has.